A single copper-colored disc spins in perfect silence. To most, it's just another penny, worth exactly 1 cent. But to those who know its secrets, the 1990 USA penny represents one of numismatics' most captivating treasures, with certain specimens commanding prices that would make even seasoned collectors catch their breath. The year was 1990. While the Berlin Wall was coming down and the World Wide Web was taking its first steps, something extraordinary was happening inside the United States Mint. Among the billions of pennies produced that year, a handful would emerge to become some of the most sought-after coins in American history. Today, we're going to reveal why this seemingly ordinary penny has coin collectors worldwide in a frenzy, and why you might want to check your spare change very, very carefully. Because what I'm about to share could literally be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars to you. Let's travel back to 1909, when the Lincoln cent first graced American pockets. This iconic design, featuring our 16th president's noble profile, would remain largely unchanged through 1990. But it's what happened in 1990 that makes these pennies particularly special. The Philadelphia and Denver mints were working overtime, producing over 6 billion pennies combined. But quantity doesn't always equal quality, and that's where our story gets interesting. Among these billions of coins, a few extraordinary specimens emerged with characteristics so rare, they would eventually command prices that seem almost unbelievable for a 1-cent piece. Take, for example, the infamous 1990 Noes proof penny. When the San Francisco Mint produced its special proof sets that year, something unprecedented happened. A small number of these precisely struck presentation pieces were minted without the crucial S mint mark. This mistake might seem minor, but in the world of coin collecting, it created an instant legend. Today, these Noes proof pennies are so rare that when one appears at auction, the bidding often starts in the six-figure range, but that's just the beginning of what makes the 1990 penny extraordinary. Let's look at its design elements, details so precise that they tell a story all their own. On the obverse, Lincoln's profile, crafted by Victor David Brenner, shows incredible artistry. But it's what's on the reverse that holds a secret many Americans have never noticed. Look closely at the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Between those tiny columns, if you have keen eyes and good lighting, you'll spot something remarkable, a microscopic sculpture of Lincoln himself, sitting in his memorial chair. This hidden Lincoln feature makes high-grade 1990 pennies particularly desirable to collectors who appreciate such intricate details. Speaking of grade, this is where the value of 1990 pennies can truly skyrocket. While most circulated specimens might be worth face value, those graded MS 67 or higher by PCGS or NGC can command thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. The reason? Perfect preservation. Finding a 1990 penny without any significant wear, marks, or toning is incredibly rare, but here's where it gets even more interesting. Among the billions minted, a few 1990 pennies emerged with dramatic minting errors that make them invaluable to collectors. Double die errors, where design elements appear doubled due to a misaligned die, can turn a 1-cent coin into a 5-figure treasure. Off-center strikes, where the design isn't properly centered on the planchet, can similarly command astronomical prices. The composition of the 1990 penny itself tells another fascinating story. While it appears to be copper, it's actually made of 97.5% zinc with just a thin copper coating. This composition makes the coin particularly susceptible to unique errors during the minting process. Some 1990 pennies have been discovered with missing copper plating, revealing the zinc core beneath. These stripped pennies can sell for thousands to the right collector. Let me share a story that might make you want to check your coin jar right now. In 2018, a collector in Michigan was casually going through rolls of pennies when he discovered a 1990 penny with a significant die break error. This single coin, purchased for 1 cent, sold at auction for over $15,000. Stories like this aren't as rare as you might think. Valuable 1990 pennies are still being discovered today, but perhaps the most exciting aspect of the 1990 penny is what we don't know. Every year, new varieties and errors are discovered, some commanding prices that seem almost impossible for a coin that was meant to be worth just 1 cent. The possibility that an undiscovered variant could be sitting in someone's pocket right now keeps collectors and enthusiasts constantly searching. So, how can you tell if you have a valuable 1990 penny? First, check the mint mark. If there isn't one, it's from Philadelphia. If there's a D, it's from Denver. But here's where it gets crucial: examine the coin under strong light. Look for any doubling in the lettering, particularly in the word Liberty and the date. Check the memorial on the reverse. Is it perfectly struck? Any variations could indicate a valuable error. The condition is paramount. A 1990 penny must be virtually perfect to command the highest prices. Look for coins with no wear on Lincoln's cheek or hair, and a reverse that shows every detail of the memorial clearly. The surface should be free from marks, spots, or discoloration. If you find one that meets these criteria, you might have something special. Even more exciting are the proof versions of the 1990 penny. These specially struck coins, meant for collectors, can be identified by their mirror-like fields and frosted design elements. But remember the NOS variety we mentioned earlier? These are the holy grail of 1990 penny collecting. Only a handful are known to exist, and their value continues to climb with each passing year. The market for high-grade 1990 pennies has seen remarkable growth in recent years. As more collectors recognize the historical significance and rarity of certain specimens, prices have steadily increased. Some experts predict that values will continue to rise as more collectors enter the market and the supply of pristine specimens remains limited. For those looking to collect 1990 pennies, proper storage is crucial. These coins should be kept in appropriate holders that prevent contact with air and moisture. Never clean a potentially valuable penny. This can significantly decrease its value. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges and consult a professional grading service if you believe you have something special. The 1990 penny represents more than just currency. It's a tangible piece of American history, a marvel of minting technology, and potentially, a significant investment. Whether you're a serious collector or simply curious about the change in your pocket, these coins deserve a closer look. After all, you never know, that penny you've overlooked could be worth a fortune. Remember, every coin tells a story, but some stories are worth more than others. The next time you see a 1990 penny, take a moment to examine it carefully. You might just be holding a numismatic treasure worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Happy hunting, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating stories about the valuable coins that might be hiding in plain sight. The 1990 penny, it's more than just change. It's a chance at finding something truly extraordinary. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Hidden beneath the weathered surface of copper lies a numismatic treasure that has captivated collectors and historians alike, the 1961 Lincoln penny. While millions were minted, only a handful of these coins possess the extraordinary characteristics that make them worth staggering sums reaching into 6 and even 7 figures. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating years in American coinage, uncovering secrets that could turn pocket change into a fortune. The year 1961 marked a pivotal moment in American history. As John F. Kennedy took office and the space race heated up, the United States Mint was quietly producing what would become some of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever struck. These weren't just ordinary pennies, they were witnesses to an era of unprecedented change, and some of them held incredible secrets that wouldn't be discovered for decades. But before we reveal the astonishing factors that make certain 1961 pennies worth more than a luxury car, let's journey back to the circumstances that created these remarkable coins. In 1961, the U.S. Mint was operating at full capacity, producing billions of cents between its Philadelphia and Denver facilities. The pennies were struck using dies that had been carefully crafted to transfer every minute detail of Victor D. Brenner's iconic Lincoln design, a portrait that had already graced the cent for over 5 decades. What makes the 1961 penny particularly intriguing is its composition: 95% copper and 5% zinc. This seemingly simple metallic mixture holds the key to understanding why some of these coins have skyrocketed in value. The copper content alone makes each penny worth more than its face value, but that's just the beginning of our story. Here's where things get fascinating. during the minting process, a series of extraordinary errors occurred that would create some of the most valuable pennies ever produced. The most notable of these is the legendary 1961 double die obverse, where a misalignment in the hubbing process created coins with distinct doubling visible in the lettering and Lincoln's features. These rare variants have sold for astronomical sums, with the finest examples commanding prices that would make even seasoned collectors catch their breath, but the double dies aren't the only valuable varieties from 1961. Some pennies from this year exhibit what experts call die clash errors, where the dies struck together without a planchet between them, creating ghost images on subsequent coins. These exceptional pieces have brought tens of thousands of dollars at auction, with one particularly spectacular example selling for over $100,000 in 2019. The condition of a 1961 penny plays a crucial role in its value, and this is where the story becomes even more compelling. While most circulated examples might be worth a few dollars, coins in pristine mint state condition can command extraordinary prices. The highest grade, MS 67 plus red, is so rare that fewer than 20 examples are known to exist. These gems represent the absolute peak of preservation, with pristine surfaces that gleam with their original mint luster, unmarred by even the slightest imperfection. But here's what makes collectors' hearts race. In 2021, a previously unknown variety of the 1961 penny emerged, one with a dramatic die break that created what appears to be a cut error above Lincoln's head. This discovery sent shockwaves through the numismatic community, with experts suggesting that this variety could be worth upwards of $250,000 to the right collector. The Denver Mint coins from 1961, identified by a small D mint mark below the date, have their own spectacular stories. Some of these pennies exhibit what's known as RPM, or repunched mint mark, where the D was struck multiple times in slightly different positions. These varieties are particularly sought after, with the finest examples selling for amounts that could fund a college education. What makes these coins even more remarkable is their historical significance. 1961 was a year of tremendous technological advancement, yet these pennies were struck using methods that had remained largely unchanged for decades. This convergence of traditional craftsmanship and modern history adds an intangible value that collectors find irresistible. Let's talk about preservation, perhaps the most crucial factor in a 1961 penny's value. Coins that have survived in mint state condition, especially those retaining their full original red color, are exceedingly rare. The copper in these pennies is highly reactive, meaning that most examples have darkened or toned over the decades. Finding one with pristine, original surfaces is like discovering a time capsule from 1961. The most valuable 1961 pennies share certain characteristics: perfect strike quality, immaculate surfaces, and full mint luster. But there's another factor that can multiply their value exponentially: provenance. Coins with documented ownership history, especially those from famous collections, can command premium prices that defy all expectations. Consider this: a 1961 penny that might be worth a few cents in circulated condition could be worth millions if it combines multiple desirable characteristics, say, a double die variety with pristine surfaces and an important provenance. It's the numismatic equivalent of winning the lottery, and these coins are still out there, waiting to be discovered. This brings us to one of the most exciting aspects of the 1961 penny: the possibility of finding an extremely valuable example in ordinary circulation. While most have been picked through by collectors over the years, new discoveries are still being made. Just last year, a collector found a previously unknown die variety while searching through rolls of pennies from his bank, a discovery worth tens of thousands of dollars. The market for these coins continues to strengthen, driven by both seasoned collectors and newcomers who recognize their historical importance and investment potential. Recent auctions have seen record-breaking prices for exceptional examples, with some varieties selling for amounts that would have seemed impossible just a few years ago. For those looking to identify valuable 1961 pennies, attention to detail is crucial. Check for doubling in the lettering, particularly in Liberty and the date. Examine the mint mark area for repunching. Look for die breaks, cuds, and other striking errors. And most importantly, check the coin's overall condition. the closer to pristine, the better. Proper storage is essential for maintaining a valuable 1961 pennies condition. These coins should be housed in archival quality holders that protect them from environmental damage while allowing their beauty to be appreciated. Never clean a potentially valuable coin, this can severely diminish its worth. As we conclude our exploration of the 1961 penny, remember that these coins represent more than just potential financial value. They're tangible connections to a pivotal year in American history, each one a tiny time capsule that has survived for over 6 decades. While not every 1961 penny will be worth a fortune, the possibility of finding an extremely valuable example adds an element of excitement to every coin search. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting your numismatic journey, the 1961 penny offers something truly special, the chance to own a piece of history that could be worth far more than anyone might suspect. Keep searching, keep learning, and who knows? The next $1 million penny might be sitting in your pocket right now. Remember to hit that subscribe button and notification bell to stay updated on more fascinating stories about coins that could make you rich. Until next time, happy collecting, and keep checking those pennies. You never know what treasure you might find. In the vast realm of rare coins, one piece stands out as a true marvel of numismatic history, the 1983 penny. Behind its humble copper facade lies a story of intrigue, rarity, and astronomical value that has coin collectors and investors buzzing with excitement. Today, we're unlocking the secrets of what could be the most valuable penny ever discovered, hidden in cookie jars, piggy banks, and forgotten change drawers across America. These pennies wait silently, their true worth concealed beneath decades of obscurity. While most 1983 pennies are worth their face value, a select few possess characteristics so rare, they've commanded prices that would make even seasoned collectors' jaws drop. The year 1983 marked a pivotal moment in U.S. minting history. The mint had just transitioned from solid copper pennies to zinc-based ones with a copper coating. But here's where things get fascinating. During this transition, something extraordinary happened. A handful of copper planchets from the previous year accidentally made their way into the 1983 production line. These pure copper 1983 pennies became some of the most sought-after era coins in modern American history. But that's just the beginning of our story. These copper 1983 pennies are so rare that only a few authenticated specimens exist. The last confirmed sale of one of these pieces reached a staggering $23,500, and experts believe that if more are discovered in pristine condition, they could easily fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if you have one of these valuable treasures? The first clue lies in the weight. A regular zinc-based 1983 penny weighs 2.5 grams, but these rare copper variants tipped the scales at 3.11 grams. This seemingly minor difference represents a fortune in the collector's market, but weight isn't the only factor that could make your 1983 penny worth a small fortune. Double die errors from this year are particularly valuable. These occur when the die used to strike the coin creates a distinct doubling effect on the lettering or Lincoln's profile. The most prominent double die 1983 penny recently sold for an astounding $7,500. Imagine finding that in your spare change. Here's where things get even more exciting. Numismatic experts believe that there could be dozens, perhaps hundreds, of these rare copper 1983 pennies still in circulation. That means every time you receive change from your morning coffee, you could be holding a coin worth more than a luxury car. The value of these pennies isn't just in their rarity, it's in their historical significance. They represent a crucial turning point in American coinage, a time when rising copper prices forced the mint to fundamentally change how they produced our smallest denomination. These accidental copper pennies are living artifacts of this transition, making them invaluable to both collectors and historians. But before you start rifling through your coin jar, you need to know exactly what to look for. Beyond the weight difference, authentic copper 1983 pennies have a distinct sound when dropped on a hard surface, a rich, resonant ring rather than the duller thud of their zinc counterparts. The color should be a natural copper tone, not the slightly rosier hue of copper-plated zinc cents. And here's something that might surprise you: location matters. Pennies from certain mint facilities are more likely to be these valuable variants. The Philadelphia Mint, which doesn't use a mint mark, produced the majority of known copper 1983 pennies. However, the Denver Mint, identified by the D mark, has also yielded some spectacular finds, but wait, there's more to this story. Some 1983 pennies exhibit what experts call transitional errors. These occur when the copper plating on zinc cores is either missing or incomplete. While not as valuable as the pure copper variants, these transitional errors can still command prices in the thousands of dollars. One such piece recently sold at a heritage auction for $3,800. Now, let's talk about preservation. If you think you found one of these rare pennies, handling it properly becomes crucial. Never clean or polish the coin, this can dramatically reduce its value. Instead, store it in a proper coin flip or holder, away from extreme temperatures and humidity. Remember, condition is paramount in the collector's market. The most valuable 1983 pennies often come with what we call mint state preservation. This means they're in virtually the same condition as when they left the mint: no wear, no significant marks, and beautiful original luster. A copper 1983 penny in mint state condition could potentially break previous sales records, possibly reaching that elusive $1 million mark. But here's the twist that keeps collectors up at night: new varieties of 1983 penny errors are still being discovered. Just last year, a previously unknown die variety was authenticated, sending shockwaves through the numismatic community. This means the full story of the 1983 penny is still being written, and you could be the one to discover the next chapter. For those serious about hunting these valuable coins, investing in the right tools is essential. A precise digital scale capable of measuring to the hundredth of a gram is your first line of defense against counterfeits. A good magnifying glass or loupe with at least 10x magnification will help you spot those subtle double die errors that could mean the difference between a penny and a fortune. The market for these rare pennies shows no signs of cooling off. In fact, with increased attention from mainstream media and growing interest in numismatics among younger collectors, prices are expected to continue climbing. Some experts predict that a pristine copper 1983 penny could break the $1 million barrier within the next decade. Let's not forget about the other varieties that make the 1983 penny special. Off-center strikes, where the design isn't perfectly centered on the planchet, can command premium prices. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the higher the value. A 1983 penny struck 50% off-center recently sold for $2,800 at auction. But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of the 1983 penny story is what we don't know. How many more copper specimens are out there? Could there be other, yet undiscovered error varieties? The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes this hunt so exciting. For those just starting their search, here's a pro tip: bank rolls are your friends. Many of these valuable pennies have been found in unopened bank rolls from 1983. While the chances might seem slim, remember, every great discovery started with someone taking the time to look. Before we wrap up, here's something to consider: the 1983 penny isn't just a coin, it's a testament to the unexpected treasures that can hide in plain sight. It reminds us that extraordinary value can be found in the most ordinary places, waiting for someone observant enough to recognize it. So, the next time you receive change, take a moment to check those pennies. Listen to their sound, check their weight, examine their details. Because you never know, that copper-colored coin in your hand might just be your ticket to numismatic history and a fortune beyond imagination. Remember to like and subscribe for more fascinating stories about rare coins and their incredible values. Drop a comment below if you think you found something special. We'd love to hear about your discoveries. Until next time, keep searching, because your next penny could be worth a fortune.